Hey guys, happy Friday. Today's topic is about the stress surrounded from school starting again. So I hope you guys can join in live and join in on the conversation. And if you can't join live and you're watching the replay and you have anything you can add, please do so. Remember, Stress Busters is a community of people trying to bust stress out of life. And although I try to start some conversations and share what I know about stress and relieving stress, I want you, hi Janet, I want you to help others as well in this community with your strategies so that we can all work together to help each other. So I want to start by saying that our school system starts in another week and a half. On the 14th of August, the girls go back to school. I have a 16-year-old that's going into 11th grade, and I have a 13-year-old going into 8th grade. So I've experienced these stresses for a long time. Some of you also know that I was a principal of a school. So that was a whole nother story, because not only did I have to get the girls ready, I had to get the school ready. So that was a different situation way back when. But today I worry only about the start of school for my daughters and for what effect it has on the family. If you have children, school-age children, you know that things are so different from summertime to school time. So we're going to talk about that today, and hopefully you can pipe in and share some comments, or at least in the comments later when you're watching the replay. So what stresses parents out about school? Number one, school shopping, right? Now, I have been blessed with daughters that don't like to shop. They can enjoy the same clothes for years. They don't really grow very quickly. They're tiny. So, and actually my youngest she fits now in the wardrobe of her older sister. So we can get away with not having to buy a lot of new clothes, but they do still need them, especially when the jeans that they're wearing have rips and tears, and you just have to start buying it. And I had read a statistic that said the average family will spend $629. That was the average amount over these families per child in school supplies. You know, when I was in the classroom, I would send home that school supply and list, and it would have on there 20 different things. And that in itself to shop for is stressful. You know, the index cards that had the right lines and the brand of dry erase markers that the teacher wanted. I mean, that in itself was stressful. So how do we combat that? We have to, one, think ahead for it. We have to budget, and we have to put limits and boundaries. So when you are getting ready to go school shopping, it's okay to tell them you're going to get 2 pants, 2 tops, and then we're going to go maybe even to the thrift store, and you can supplement what we're going to buy at the regular store. So you have to put some boundaries, because $629, that can hit some people hard at this time for one child, you know, and when it all cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching adds up. So that's an added stress. You have to plan for it, either actually budget ahead of time for that actual cost that's going to come about in August, and also put limits on it. You know, it doesn't have to be every name brand item. It could be one name brand item and the rest not. So you can explain that to your child, or even put a budget. How exciting to give them a debit card that has $200 on it and say, this is your card, you're going to get to go school shopping, but that's it. After that, it's the limit, and that's all we have. So that is exciting if you can actually get even to that. $200 is a lot of money. So that stress is added. And sometimes if you can't do it, you can't do it. You know, you just have to be honest with your child. So that's one thing. The other stress that hits on parents is hectic schedules. I mean, I'm already processing how things are going to change, because I have to pick up Kaylee, got to drop off Janelle, pick up Janelle. And because we work from home, we're happy to be able to do that in their older years. But it wasn't always like that. It was always, you know, sometimes we have to drop them off, go to work, come back, arrange for someone to pick them up. It gets very hectic. And I find that in order to alleviate some of that stress, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to call grandma and say, can you please pick them up from school? Can you take her to cheerleading? The other day I had Kaylee, and I was stressing out because it's not even school yet. And she had to be somewhere at a certain time, and I had something else that I was going to be doing. So I called my sister, and I said, can you please go to the house and get Kaylee at 6:15 and take her? We have to ask for help. So that weight of trying to manage all the hectic schedules that we try to do as women, yay, we're so powerful, we can do it all. We have to be able to say, hey, I need you to do this for me, because I can't get two people at different places and do what I need to do for myself. So think about that, and alleviating some of that school stress with the hectic schedules. Ask for help. Also plan ahead. Get a planner and write down who has to go where and when, or have it in your phone, but keep yourself organized. We actually have a dry erase board literally on a small table in our little office space that I have everybody's schedule. Now I have the calendar in my phone, and I put everything in there, but I will take it from there and put it on the dry erase board so that we can see it. And I do that every Sunday night so we can know who has to go where. And I've actually started telling Kaylee that she needs to put it in my book and highlight it in blue so I can know where she's got to go, because it's getting very hectic. So stress number 2, the start of all those hectic schedules. Anybody, can you agree with that? I mean, that's crazy times when school starts. You got to take everybody everywhere. Help with homework is another parent stressor. And I have watched and witnessed that from a range from the outside looking in, because I know that students struggle in different areas, and I can't even help Kaylee anymore with her homework. And there may be parents that feel the same way with first grade math, that it's just a challenge to understand the way the teacher wants them to do it and the way, you were taught to do it. So there's extra stresses, and the kids, sometimes they don't react well to the mom or the dad trying to help them with homework. I have a friend that her child and her, they just butt heads when she tries to help him. But when I try to help him, he's fine. It's like, oh, that makes sense. It's okay. It's okay if you and your child are not, they're butting heads. You don't have to do all the help. What you have to do to alleviate the stress is to get someone that he can or she can feel good and comfortable with, because it's just okay. We don't have to be the helper for homework. We can ask for a teenager to come over once a week, and just set limits to what they have to do. One of the things when we had homework time, very heavy in one of the grades, is it was going to be 20 minutes a night, whether you had homework or not. You were going to sit with either your homework or you're going to sit with a book, but it's a designated homework time, because it was just getting overwhelming. And so I really encourage people to set that guideline where it's going to be homework time, whether you have homework or not, so they get in that habit. It makes it a little less stressful if they know what to expect. And then reach out for help. Pay $20 a week for a teenager in your neighborhood to come over twice a week, or with the computer now, you can have a Zoom meeting, for a free Zoom meeting for 30 minutes, and hire the teenager to talk to your child about their homework assignment. You can share screens, take pictures of the homework, and it can be done. So I encourage you to alleviate your stress by asking for help in that area. And how we worry about the kids fitting in is another stress that parents have. My girls are kind of quiet. They don't really, cause a lot of chaos, but I worry, are they going to make friends? Are they going to have the right friends? And all I can really say to that is to really just keep the communication open, and don't wear blinders that everything's okay. Just make sure that there are times, even in our busy family, we don't sit down for dinner very regularly, but make sure there's at least 1 or 2 times a week where you have downtime together in a fun situation, or dinner time, where you can actually say, hey, how's things going? And look for those little clues that something might be bothering them, that they might be having an issue with someone at school. Because if you don't do that, weeks and months can go by and their personality can change, because they're so affected and they don't really know what to do. And we go through cycles of moods. Well, so do they. And we have to know if the reason for that mood is something that's outside, external, affecting them, or if it's, just the normal mood stuff, right? But keep those lines of communication open. Hey, Jessica, I'm glad you're here. kids, now that's all our parent stresses, but the kids are going back to work. I know that when I was going back to work on Sunday night, I would always feel that like, okay, tomorrow's Monday. And if you're working outside of the home, you feel that as well when it's time to go back to work the next day, I'm sure, unless you're really excited about your job, which is great if you are. But kids do anticipate some of that anxiousness as well. And they know that going back to school is going to mess with their leisure schedule. My youngest one, she has been so relaxed. Not that she's overly not relaxed, but she's been doing practically nothing all summer. I mean, we have her do her art, we have her do her music, we have her do, some reading, but the rest of the time is like hours of doing whatever she wants to do, which is nothing. So that anxiousness and that stress is also on them because they know their schedule is going to change. I don't know if this is a thought about today. I taught my girls to buy clothes that interchange with other. Awesome. It is a perfect thought, Janet. We're just talking about parents being stressed about buying a lot of things in the beginning of school. So teaching them to interchange those wardrobe items is a good money saver. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so parents stressed by that and other things. Kids stressed by knowing their leisure time is going off. And what I suggest to that is start to, a week before school, really start to work with that schedule so that it becomes more guided. Like, okay, you've had a lot of downtime, but this week I want you to spend an hour doing this. I want you to spend an hour doing that, so that they can start to get back into that groove slowly, that they are going to lose a lot of their leisure time. Waking up early, oh my Lord, and they're teenagers now, and they're just like sleep till like noon, and they, and they sleep so peacefully. They said never wake up a baby, so I don't want to wake up a baby, so I just leave them sleeping, and so you have to prepare them for that. So this week, I told them they had to go to bed now at 11, and next week it's 10, so that they're ready when school starts, and then I've been waking them up earlier. So even though they may be ready to jump out of bed, they're going to get ready for it. I saw, Jessica, you commented about the dry erase board. Awesome. That's great. You've been using that. Broadcast froze. I don't know. Hopefully I'm back on. Not liking teachers. That's a stress for kids. And I think that it's important for us to just open that dialogue and make sure that they know they're not going to like everybody. And not everybody's going to like them. And that's got to be okay. I know we say, well, teachers should be all loving and they should accept, but there are personality differences that may happen, that will happen. And if it's going to happen, you'll know about it. They'll start to share that with you. And you'll see changes that you should talk to them about. But I think it's important to know that that might be stressing them out because they're worried that they're not going to like their teacher. So if you start visualizing for them and teaching them how to visualize that their class and their new teachers are going to be great, and talk to them to see if they have any apprehension about it, you can kind of dialogue that it's okay. You're doing your class, as long as you do your work and you get along with most people, good. And then as issues arise, if it's, of course, terrible, you have to deal with it. But just know that stresses them out. Not having the right clothes, not fitting in is a big stressor for kids. So we have to just kind of make sure that that dialogue is happening. So I know for most parents that are sending their kids back to school, it could be a lot of stress relief because they're going to school. And now that they are back in school, mom and dad, or dad has a little extra time on their hands. But it also brings stress. And I want you to remember our stress strategies. Think about the good in the situation. Try to turn frustrations that happen along the way into appreciation. Appreciate that you have a good school. Appreciate that your child is in classes where they can learn. Turn that frustration into appreciation. And then just try to make sure you open that dialogue with them and have some conversation about finances if that's a stress, or how you're going to manage the hectic schedule. So I hope that's been helpful. With a week left before back to school, I wish you guys a great school year. If you ever have any questions about the school system or what your child's going through, reach out to me. I have 23 years experience in education, teacher, principal, and I'd be happy to help you guys with that as well. And if you want to join our 21-day challenge for stress busting, go to bustthestress.com. I know someone said the broadcast froze, and I haven't heard anyone comment anymore, so I might have lost you guys. But you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully we will be in touch in the comments.